Hi, welcome back if you're new here. Hi, I'm Liv. I am from Colorado and I love everything related to makeup and beauty. Today I really want to try out this viral drugstore skin tint. Now if you're familiar with me, I don't actually do a whole lot with the drugstore because not that the drugstore products are bad, it's just they don't hold a lot of interest to me. I typically like to go towards Sephora type of makeup. But this one really caught my attention, and honestly I was walking through Walmart one day and saw it and I was like, we should try this. So today we are going to be trying the new Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. If you don't know, I am actually in like a death grip love relationship with the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. This is honestly one of my favorite foundations in general. I've had it for 2 years. I've repurchased it multiple times. So for another skin tint, let alone a drugstore skin tint, to catch my attention is saying something. So I pulled up the Maybelline website here, and I just want to read a couple details about it first. So this non-stop power drop is infused with the vitamin C and creates a bright, natural look that lasts all day. Our vegan formula brightens and delivers beautiful skin-like coverage for a natural, radiant finish. 95% said skin looks healthy, weightless feel, resists sweat, humidity, and fading. It's suitable for all skin types, including sensitive skin, and it's available in 18 shades. And I picked up the shade 118, so hopefully it matches, because obviously at the drugstore you can't do swatches. So the benefits of this is that it delivers a buildable light to medium coverage for a skin-like finish and a natural radiant look. And then it says the best way to apply is to shake bottle well, apply a few drops with fingers or beauty blender to blend into skin. Apply more product to build to medium coverage. Can be worn alone or layered with other makeup and skincare products. And I am looking at the ingredients as well. The first ingredient is water, so that's good. And then the third ingredient is dimethicone, so if you're trying to stay away from silicone-based makeup, this probably isn't for you. There's also alcohol denat, which is a very drying product. Honestly, those ingredients don't scare me, so we're going to go ahead and try it out. Actually, before we put that on, I'm going to go ahead and put on my Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. And I wear this every single day, whether I wear makeup or not, just because I get very oily skin and it has been in the 90s for the past like month. So this helps just because of the weather in general and because I do have oily skin. I know some reviewers like to wear new foundations without primers, and that's great. I love that for them. However, I like to wear new foundations the way I would wear them, which would include my primer. So let's try this out. Honestly, it's the same type of dropper as the Beauty Blender, so I'm just going to take one droplet of it. And I do my foundation a little different, so I put it on my hand, spread it out a little bit, and then I'm going to take my brush. And I know this is not the preferred way. The product says to apply it, but I'm not a finger person to mix it in with my fingers. And I do use a beauty blender after this. Shade-wise, I think it might be a little yellow, but it's not bad. The thing that I really like about the Beauty Blender Skin Tint is that it's got some coverage to it, but it is pretty weightless. So that's about 1/2 of my face. So I'm going to go in with a second drop. And I spread it out on the back of my hand so it applies more evenly on my brush. And then I'm also going to take it down my neck a bit because like right down the center of my neck is really white. So upon first application, this actually looks really good. I see the radiant, I see the natural. You can still see some of my imperfections. Like obviously that's a little bit of a scab pimple, but you can still see this one. I have a pretty large one on my chin and you can still see them. I do think it's a little yellow. The shade is a little yellow. I probably could have gone down one more shade, but I think it's a shade I can make work where like, I believe this was $13.95 at Walmart, so it's not worth it to me to go all the way back to Walmart to just get a different shade. So what else I like to do is take what's left over on my hand with my sponge And actually I had quite a bit left on my hand, so maybe not all of it. And then I like to go over some of the spots where I think I need a little more coverage, and also to blend out any brush strokes. So here it is, blended out, some extra coverage on my cheek areas and my chin, because I'm not a fan of this, so I did want to add a little extra coverage there. And then my cheeks get pretty rosy, so that is something I really like to cover up. So I've got a little extra layer on my cheeks, a little more on my chin, but I think it looks really nice, actually. I would say it's very comparable to the Beauty Blender. So now it's just going to be a matter of how it wears. Now this says it's 24 hours. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to wear it for 24 hours, but I'll give it a good wear test, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and finish up the makeup. Let's just say we got the foundation on at 11:13. Let's just go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to start with some concealer. So I've got all of my face products on the way I would normally do it, and I do feel a little bit heavier than I normally feel I look, so especially like around my nose. It just looks heavier. Not cakey, like it's still really smooth, just heavier, if that makes sense. I also don't feel like it's as texture smoothing as the Bounce Skin Tint. Like my cheeks have more texture on them than normal, which texture is normal, but normally I can hide it better, and so far everything else is the same. Like I'm even using my Givenchy powder, and it's just not as smooth as I'm used to. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. I'm still happy with it. It's just not as smooth as some other foundations that I used. And I'm only saying that because literally every other product that I put on my face has been my normal routine. Let's do the eyes and see how we're doing then. Makeup is complete. It is 11:43, so I mean it only took about 30 minutes to do the rest of my makeup. The foundation looks good. I think this would be a good dupe for the Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. I do not think it replaces it. And I've only been wearing it for 45 minutes roughly, 30-45 minutes. I do think it is a bit heavier than their weightless claim, personally. Once you actually get all of your makeup on. Like if you only wear the foundation and that's it, like you don't wear concealer and powder and then layer after layer of makeup like I do, then weightless, yes, because I didn't feel it when I put on. But putting everything on, the full face of makeup that I would normally wear, that like this is how I would wear this foundation, it's heavy. Whereas the Beauty Blender Skin Tint, it's not heavy after I wear it like this. So I do think there are some tweaks to it. I do want to see how it lasts with this makeup on. And I think I'll do a couple check-ins so we can really see. I don't know if I'll get a whole 8 hours, but I will try. I'm definitely not doing 24. I don't think it's bad. Honestly, I don't. I still feel beautiful. I still had a good time applying the makeup. Everything layered on really nicely too. Like nothing's peeling or getting crunchy. I do think around my nose is just heavier, but it hasn't actually like cracked around the nose creases yet, so that's good. Like it's not a bad drugstore foundation, and honestly if you want to spend $13 on a foundation instead of $30, this would be a good dupe. So I'm gonna go about my day and I'll do a couple check-ins and let's see how it wears. Check-in number 1, it's about 3:50, so we're about 4 hours in. Honestly, it's doing pretty good. It's cracked a little like around my nose here, but that happens with most foundations for me, so I'm not too picky about that. I think my upper lip looks a little cakey. it's separating a little bit, but honestly, this is a good drugstore foundation. It's wearing really nicely. It's just a little bit heavier than what I'm used to. So if you wear a lot of makeup, it's going to be a little bit heavier, but it's not wearing bad. And if you don't wear a lot of makeup and you're used to wearing just like a light foundation and call it good, this is going to be really good for you because it was really lightweight and weightless like the claims before I put on all my powders. So far so good. We're about 4 hours in. I will check in with you one more time before I call it a day. This is going to be my last check-in. It is about 7:10, 7:09. So I've been wearing this foundation for about 7 hours, and I'm not gonna lie, it's held up really well. Like, we're still looking good. So other than the creasing around my nose and some heaviness around my mouth, I think the heaviness around the mouth is just because of like normal facial expressions, frowning, smiling, eating, drinking. I just know that my lip lines today were a little wonky, and that's not normal for me. Normally, lipstick, lip liners work really well over foundations. And I know I had foundation on my lips before I put my lipstick on. So other than that, I think it's worn really well. Again, I don't think it will replace my Beauty Blender Bounce Skin Tint. I just like that one more. I have more of a relationship with it. But I do like this one, and if you're interested in a good skin tint, I think this is the one to try because it definitely is buildable if you're looking for more coverage. It is weightless if you don't wear a whole lot of makeup, but obviously it works well layering your makeup too. It's held up very nicely today. I was outside today. It was about 97 degrees, so it has withheld from the heat. I didn't actually get too oily, so I'm pretty happy with that, which is why I used my primer like I normally would, because that primer really helps keep my oils at bay. So I'm very happy with this foundation. It's a good one for the drugstore. Honestly, I'm not a huge drugstore person to buy makeup. It's not something I'm always interested in, but I'm really glad this one caught my attention. I'm glad I got a wear test. Now we're gonna go back to Past Live and do our outro, and I hope you guys try this foundation. Let me know what you think. I am gonna film my outro before I do my check-ins because there's a good possibility I will forget to come back to do this. So let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. I do really enjoy wear tests. They're fun, so if you wanna see more, let me know. There are plenty of foundations that I have not tried out. So if you have any specific ones, leave it in the comments for me below. I'd also love to hear your take on it being a dupe for the Bounce Skin Tint. Have you tried the Bounce one, and do you prefer it more? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. It means so much to me. And if you really liked this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit all on the notifications. You'll be notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.